Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm glad I can see the chat, and it's so good to have you all here. I wanted to join here and drop in more regularly with you all and get to connect and get to share and hear your questions. But I personally have not been on other social media platforms such as Instagram or Facebook. Well, Facebook's been years, but Instagram, it's been 4 months now. And I never really was on TikTok. And so it's been a process of reclaiming my attention and my energy. And it's been very powerful for anyone who's interested in doing the experiment. I feel really grateful to my assistant, Angelica, for posting things. So things you see there are authentic to me, but my eyeballs did not go on there to post most of those things. Occasionally I'll go on. But it's been part of this recalibration journey that I'm going to share a bit about, and also something I'm tracking in the field. And that's part of the purpose of these sessions, is primarily to connect more and share more, but also to get to dive into some of these greater movements that are happening on planet Earth right now. And it feels such a potent time for us to stay connected and to really remind each other of what's happening. At least for me, I notice when I'm filling my field with people, media streams, content that reminds me of the bigger picture and reminds me of what's really going on here on planet Earth as humans and what our potential is. It grounds me and it helps me be clear about what I'm doing and what my energy wants to go towards. And I've been learning that, and maybe I'll go more deeply into it in a future session, but those scrolling platforms, and YouTube to a degree, if you get caught in the shorts here, I tend to not look at the shorts, but any platform where there's a lot of scrolling and the algorithm is showing you positive and negative stimuli alternating, it kind of blows out the nervous system, and we go numb and we forget. And I've been tracking that, and I'm noticing that my memory is literally gotten better over the last 3 months, and my focus is much deeper, and my ability to contact what I feel is stronger. So I want to share that just in case you want to go on an experiment with your own human vessel and consciousness. But I wanted to still connect. I'm definitely getting the invitation and the guidance to connect more. So I thought this would be a beautiful platform to do that on. So we will be gathering every other week here, and I'll be sharing just little bits. This will be short. I'm going to do my best to keep it brief. And you can pop questions in the chat if you wish, and hopefully I can get to some of them this one, or if not, the next one and future ones. So you can always comment on these videos after. You can, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do that so that you'll be notified of future ones. And I'm really excited so we can share the bigger whys of what I'm creating, what we're all creating. And yeah, it's really beautiful to connect with you all. Thank you for being here. So this is tea time. And I want to say this video is going to touch on, over the course of this video, I'll share these next 2 albums that are about to come out over the next couple months. And I've been alternating singles, as some of you are tracking. And I've barely spoken about them publicly. And so this video will share how these are 2 parts of a whole initiation that's happening personally and collectively, and within it, even a larger movement. And so I'll be sharing a bit about that and what these are reflecting to us. And so welcome to tea. Cheers. This is to our greatest aliveness reclaimed, to remembering what it is that makes us living beings and what brings us into more aliveness to create for the next generations. Cheers. And if you have questions, just pop them in the chat or in the comments below if you're watching this in the future present moment. So I am releasing alternating singles. One is part of an album called Reimagination. The other is Recalibration. And I didn't know I was going to do Recalibration. I just knew I was going to do Reimagination. I thought it was a fun dance album. I reimagined my songs as dance tracks. It's really fun. And then I realized I'm being reimagined. And then I one day got the directive that I needed to create a body of work called Recalibration, where I literally sit down and I channel a song in one sitting. And that's what you're hearing. I've added a few production things to it, but it's just me. I haven't gone and done production with anyone else. These songs are just from me. They're an experiment in receiving. They are echoes of the song that preceded it. If you're tracking that, there's melody lines that come from the Reimagination songs for many of them. And reimagination is the movement. It's how we move energy. It's the creative force. It's the vision. It's the reclamation of our imagination as our creative force. And the reason recalibration had to happen is because I realized, how can we know what we're meant to move and create if we're not clear? And so recalibration has been my own personal initiation into being a clearer vessel, being in more alignment with the soul, deeper practices daily, deeper listening, and really making space, making more space for what wants to come through, so that what comes through is actually meaningful. Because I'm a mom now, and as all parents know, time changes. You get really Jedi with it. And what is not important, there's simply not time for it. And the priorities rise to the top. And I love creating beauty. And it's not only about creating beauty. Songs by themselves can move people and have such a powerful impact. And what's being called now is something even bigger because of the times we're in and because of what's needed. And so I'm also tracking, as I talk to people, everyone's in a reimagination and a recalibration, or at least the people I'm talking to. A lot of the humans around me are really honing in on what practices bring them into more alignment and clarity, and what parts of life are really distracting. So this was part of my leaving social media platforms, was noticing how distracting it was to my energy and thoughts and attention, and needing to really hone in on what information sources and media is coming into my field, knowing that I'm going to create from that. Everything that gets put into our vessel, food, media, the type of people and interactions, like all of it is what then we have to work with for our creativity. And so it was calling me to recalibrate what's within. And it's asked a lot of me, and it's been one of the most powerful initiations, apart from becoming a mother, that I've been on. It's really sharpening me as a vessel and sharpening us. And for those who wish to show up in that way, I think that is the moment we're in, is we're being called to sharpen, to clarify, and to recalibrate, because there's a lot of pollution in the waters. And I'll talk about the waters in a moment. But yeah, it feels like we're really being called to slow down and get clear on what's in alignment and what's not with our soul's path. Because what else are we doing here if not our soul's journey? And really reclaiming our vision, literally, our eyeballs and what we're giving our eyeballs to, what we're giving our attention to, this currency, which is more valuable than gold, and reclaiming that and really being clear in our choice of where we give that such valuable currency. And it becomes really fun. It's all investment. It's like whether it's our attention through our ears, our time, what we give our time to, it's all investing in the world we want to see. So it's a really beautiful and enjoyable process to invest consciously in where we want to give our resources. So all of this process, this realignment and recalibration, has been, although it has been a massive initiation, it's an initiation within an even larger initiation, which is how it goes in life. And I'm speaking personally here, and I'm kind of zooming in and out. But the bigger container that I've been in has been this sovereign kin journey. For those of you who've been following here, I'm in a 4-element initiation process, making albums and creations for the 4 elements. And fire came first. Fire burned so much of what was not in alignment. It was a quick 1-year initiation and hard, really challenging in a lot of ways and really beautiful in a lot of ways. And that made space for water. And within 2 months of that album being born, which meant as the fire album was released, I entered the water initiation. And within 2 months of that, I was pregnant with my little daughter, Elora. And that has been the wildest initiation. She came about a year earlier than we were planning. And so it was such a lesson in surrender and trust, which is the water. And since then, what I thought was an album and then what I thought was an epic live experience has become something much, much bigger. And it's been such a journey to listen to the waters in this way, because the waters are innately collaborative. The waters are in every particle of existence. The waters coat our DNA. They coat the latent memory DNA. They are the keepers of memory, of what makes us living, and so much more. And I'll be sharing a lot more about the waters as we go, because I'm in the Dream Waters journey, creating this quite epic live experience. Before the album, actually, I'm creating the live experience for the first time. And it's a transmission from the waters. And so I'll be sharing a lot more about that as we go. But this session, I wanted to start with this theme of recalibration and reimagination, because the waters couldn't come through. I was like, why am I having this side initiation within this greater arc of these elemental initiations? And I realized that in order to actually receive the transmission of the waters, I have to fully recalibrate to get really available as a vessel, because waters flow into the container. And how available is the container? If I'm full, the waters are going to pass right over. So making myself available, and then the reimagination is the part of the dream in Dream Waters. And it's really tuning ourselves to know that everything is possible. And where we put our attention is what gets created. And how we put our attention is everything. And so part of my, I suppose, recalibration and reimagination is even being here, because as much as I'm so comfortable singing in front of people, even improvising on stage, like if you've seen me perform live, I get bigger the bigger the stage, and it's like full on, the Leo rising comes out and it's so comfortable. And yet coming on here live, for some reason, there's an edge. And so part of this is me showing up for the call. That's just to chat with you all and to just share more. about the process, because I tend to share what's created in its full form, but this is an opportunity to share the process as it's unfolding. So someone asked, how often will I be doing these? I'll be doing them every other week is the plan right now. And you can put comments below this video when it goes up, and I will be, and maybe the chat shows up as comments. As I said, I'm new to doing this. But if you put actual comments under the video, you can check it out even after. And then I will be tracking those questions that come up and trying to address them in future lives. I won't be getting to them in this one because it's already 18 minutes and my goal is to keep these under 20. And so for future ones, please drop your questions in the comments, and I will weave it all into this unfolding sharing and story. So the next teach session is going to be in 2 weeks on Thursday, August 20th. And if you don't want to miss it, please subscribe. It's also really helpful for me as an artist. If you're not already subscribed, thank you for doing that. Thank you so much for listening to music. Thank you for supporting the arts in this time of AI. There's I think someone said it's going to be like trillions of songs flooding Spotify and other places with AI music. And it's a powerful time to, like we were saying, choose where your attention and your hearing goes and your investment. And it's pretty easy to spot AI music, and just following artists is really helpful, making sure you're subscribed, making sure you're following them on their different platforms, and especially on music platforms, saving songs when they come out. You know how artists will put out a song? I do this, and I'm like, pre-save. A lot of people don't realize it's actually really helpful, because when you've saved it and then it comes out, it boosts this algorithmic thing, and it actually helps artists. So thank you for supporting living humans making art and music in these times. It's never been a more powerful time to be a human, and to clarify ourselves so that we can be available, because I believe each of us has a piece of this puzzle and what is meant to unfold for the highest beauty. And there's no part of me that doubts what is possible as a beautiful world for our future. And it's my participatory opportunity to keep believing in that, because the more we believe in it, the more we settle our nervous system and make ourselves available for insights and hints and little messages that show us the next step. And that next step leads us to a creative act. It leads us to meeting someone. It leads us to a new opportunity. We can't premeditate these things or decide them or vision them even. We don't know how amazing it gets to be. What we do is we make the prayer clear. We keep our vision strong. We imagine the most beautiful world. And we set our intention to be available for any and all ways that we can help create that world. And then we take action when the insight comes. So I think I'll leave that here. I'm so happy to be here with you all. Thank you for the love. Thank you for joining on this live. Share it with anyone you know, and drop questions so I can respond and hear from you. And and another thing is, if you would like to, I just posted on my YouTube a poll or a post, a post asking a question about what this music has meant to you. And just, I'm curious, because I'm in different containers of collaboration right now with change makers on how art can move, and how art can help seed the future, and how art can be part of this renaissance that we are in. And so it really means a lot if you wish to answer that and share any of your feelings or experiences with my music or music in general. So love you all. Cheers to your life, to all that flows through you and all that's meant to, and your incredible journey of coming home to yourself and coming home to your own remembrance of what brings you alive. Bless it. Bless your journey. I love you all so much. I'll see you on the next live. Cheers, fam.